Good evening, Fernwood. It is your armchair philosopher, Neil, and it's time for us to search for meaning in another episode of Mary Hartman, Mary Hartman. Today we are watching episode 233 from February 23rd, 1977. Yesterday was a big one, so let's look. Wanda brought Merle home from his trip to the hospital after he was mysteriously ill. Merle wasn't comfortable going in because of the relationship between Lila and Wanda, but Wanda assured him that her focus would be on him and that Merle nearly dying had changed the focus of her relationship to him. While Merle and Wanda struggle with the keys, we see Lila inside struggling with some pills. She's able to hide what she's doing before Merle and Wanda make their entrance. And she's also quite suspicious of the affection that Wanda is pouring over Merle. Lila declares that she is completely devoted to Wanda and wants her to leave Merle. And not only that, she is willing to tank Wanda's political career, in other words, blackmail, to make sure that Wanda stays with her. And with that leverage, Lila forces a vow out of Wanda that she will not sleep with Merle. And as Wanda enters the bedroom, we get a closer look at the bottles that Lila was holding, and it's poison. On the line at the factory, Vernon Bales takes a visit to Mary and sends Tex and Tiny off on a break. Vernon wants to know if anyone other than Mary was involved in the petition that he received, and Mary said no, she wrote it herself. While Mary is quite proud, Vernon leaves with a dismissive shaking of his head and runs into Tex in the hallway, and apparently there's some kind of secret meeting that night. And with that, Vernon throws away Mary's petition. At the Capri Lounge, Charlie and Mac are enjoying some guy time playing darts. Charlie is really enjoying this kind of male friendship, which is not quite the same as what he enjoys with Tom, and it seems like he and Mac are on the same page. And back at the break room, Vernon Bales is making the final preparations for the meeting that he was talking with Tex about. There's definitely an arcane flavor to it, and we find out that it is a group called the TTT, the Twilight Teachers of Truth. Vernon suggests that the group needs to rebrand, as their white supremacist goals are not necessarily something that need to be right out on the surface. He announces that the group will now be calling themselves the Glorious Guardians of Good, and that they are going to start with normal people in Fernwood like Mary and Tom Hartman. And everyone, there were quite a few shocks yesterday, so I expect we will be picking up on the heels of that. Let's get started.
Mary Hartman! Mary Hartman!
Gentlemen, in order to give you a true picture of the glorious guardians of good, I have asked our good brother Horace Sly to show you in graphic form exactly what I'm trying to say. Brother Sly.
My first chart will show the rise in operational cost of your Triple G. These charts, by the way, was drawn up by my brother Big Buck Sly, his pretty wife Sally, and their son Billy Bob, who is small for his age. Well, as any damn fool can see, our costs have just gone sky high. Well, hell, the cost of plaster skulls alone is just eating us up alive, and sacred robes don't come cheap. You got any idea what they pay them Puerto Rican women down at the garment factory? My next chart will show the membership growth in the GGG. Now, this blue line here that goes down, it shows that membership has not gone up. Cost has outpaced membership. I don't want to be a damper, but we're doomed. Thank you.
Thank you, brother. Additions, questions?
Bull. I say bull.
It's a very interesting observation,
I
Brother
tell
Darrell.
you hippies are all alike. All you do is knock, knock, knock. But do you ever say anything constructive at all? Do you have anything to say?
I'm glad you asked that question. Now, I've already told you that we've changed our name to the Glorious Guardians of Good. Now, that's the first step, but only the first step. Now, I have shown you how our membership in the past has been so terrifying, and how the membership in the new GGG shall be magnificent.
Yeah, you hush that kind of talk. I'm telling you that I'll have you horsewhipped, drawn, and quartered within an inch of your life. I'm telling you, I'll fight you with every ounce of strength of this old soldier's soul. You ain't going to put no woman in these sacred robes. I'd rather die first.
Old Darrell, sit down and shut up. You're acting like a baby.
Vernon, are you honestly proposing that we take women into the GGG?
Well, that's the very least of my proposals.
Tell me something. Just how do you expect to go about this modernizing hippie?
Well, first the robes must go.
Oh, God.
No,
I don't want to live.
Robes frighten people. You see, what we need is a new image, such as this, proposed by Mr. Keith of Ottawa.
Jesus, take me.
We must also decide on a new way to find new recruits. We can't sit around the old flaming bonfires. No, we must deal with bake sales and hootenannies. Now, brother, you play the guitar, don't you?
I'm coming, Lord.
Yes, and we must also watch what we say. Now, certain words in English are perfectly good, perfectly comprehensible. They make good sense. But for us, they must be considered inoperable. Now, for example, nigger is wrong. In the new DGG, we will say Afro-American right.
Just a minute. You're striking right at the very roots of our organization.
You misunderstand what I'm saying. I'm only talking about the outer aspects. What is in our hearts and our minds will not change. All the while I'm singing folk songs with these yokels, my heart will be crying for a lynching, while my tongue speaks the word Oriental American. My mind and my heart will be speaking chink.
I knew you'd come to your senses.
But it all starts here in Fernwood. This will be the test program that will prove us right. As Fernwood goes, so goes the nation.
I've always said that.
It won't be long, gentlemen. It won't be long until people of oddly colored men, women, and children who have unwisely settled in a white neighborhood will once again look through his window and see the great flaming symbol of our order on his front lawn.
Yeah. Vernon, you great, big, wonderful guy.
Glorious guardians of good. Glorious guardians of good. Glorious guardians of good.
And how about a drink for your honor, sir? You're looking a little down today.
Well, I'll tell you, Turk, unless you got a forklift back there, you know, it's about what it'd take to pick me up at this stage. I don't know, I'm a little heavy-hearted. Burdens of life are kind of getting me down there.
Why don't you give the guy double anything?
Good. Yeah, thanks.
You're welcome. I never saw you like this.
I don't really know what it is either. I don't know.
I wish I could help you. I really do wish I could help. I know that you know, and I used to just be around you before like that would sort of just perk you up a little. And would you like to hear a joke? Knock, knock.
No.
No.
No, I don't think so. Appreciate it, but
Yeah.
I don't even think make that at work, Mary. I tell you what's happened is, see, Wanda has kind of enlightened me about the whole thing. The way she puts it, that I've kind of fallen into a trap of my own game plan. You know what I mean? Because I don't know. I'm here. I'm a healthy man. I'm a mayor of Fernwood. I have an intelligent, attractive wife, beautiful, overly developed maid, nice home. I guess really about everything a man could ask for, except that I just don't have someone who cares, you know?
Look, I don't want to stay. Mary's here. Please, let's go.
But there's the mayor. Come on.
Hi.
Oh,
you remember my sister, Mary? And this is Mayor Mergia, her current companion. And this is Howie Freeze. He is the newscaster and the DJ of the local radio station.
WJGL there,
Yeah,
right?
right.
Yeah,
Right.
sure,
Nice
I
to
know
see you,
Howie.
Mr.
Good to see you.
Mr. Mayor.
How
Mr.
you
Mayor.
been?
Yeah, nice to see you.
Good.
You can sit down. I just want to tell you that in case you misunderstood companion, you know, in the way she used it, I just felt because you're the media, I feel it a necessity, you know, to explain what it is. You see, Merle, who also happens to be the mayor, is my companion here only because we are sitting together.
Oh, God.
Well, why don't we just join you?
Well, gosh, it'd be nice if there was room here.
Gee, but it looks so full up.
Oh,
tonight.
yeah, it looks really crowded.
Oh,
to me,
it's
too.
no problem. I'll just get some chairs from over here. Come on.
Howie, I don't want to stay here. I want to leave.
Listen, be nice to Mary. Can't you see she's trying to make up with you?
Didn't seem like that to me.
I know people, huh? It is my job.
You really think she doesn't hate me anymore?
She never hated you, just like you never hated her. It's you two just let things get out of line is all.
Well, she said some really rotten things.
She's sorry. Trust me.
What? Whoa, you worked it out, didn't you, Howie? Yeah, just pushed it right in there. Attaboy.
Amazing how you figured
Attaboy.
this whole thing out here.
All right.
Yeah. Well. Well, we are awfully comfortable now, aren't we?
Hey, remember what I said to you?
Well, if Mary's sorry, I guess I'm sorry.
I am.
Huh? Good. That's settled.
I love this. This is what I like, you know. This is exactly it. This is what it's all about. When two lovely young ladies like this can enjoy each other's company like this. To me,
What do you mean by that?
what do you mean by that?
Oh, no, Kathy, no, please, no, come on now. Don't pick on Merle. I mean, he's in a very downtrodden state right now. You know, he's going through a lot of really rough
Look,
things.
don't pick on me,
Hey,
Mary.
wait a minute. I think I can straighten this out, all right?
Oh,
Just
shut up, Howie.
Kathy?
Ow!
What's the matter?
That's right. Ah!
What? What's the matter?
No,
What's
wait,
the matter?
What's
no.
happening? What?
Oh, hold on.
What's happening to him?
What's the matter? Well, we know that. Well, what is
I
it?
think it's my stomach.
Do you think he ate one of those Capri tuna burgers or something? I
Oh,
don't know.
no, wait a minute. We better do something. What do you think we
Yeah,
can do?
I don't know.
I don't know.
What?
Okay,
Get us somewhere.
everybody,
Wait,
be
wait.
quiet. Be quiet for a minute. I have been through this before with him, and I just must have time to think. I must think now. Now. Oh, let me think. It is very important, either to walk him or to not walk him. Does anyone remember?
Mary,
What? What? I'm sorry. What?
my tie.
Oh,
Quick, undo his
Listen,
tie.
my tie.
I got this.
what?
I got this.
My stomach pills.
Where are they?
Coat pocket.
Here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Nah.
Okay.
Nah.
Okay.
Here's something.
Yeah.
Okay. Put this
Yeah.
here.
Right here.
Excuse me? Now, this is your territory and this is my territory.
Territory?
Yeah, you see, I sleep on this side with the couch and you sleep on that side with the bed.
Oh, you can have the bed.
Oh, no, I don't want the bed. Beds make me feel sexy.
What do you think they do to me?
Oh, well, you see, we can't start getting sexy because, you see, that's not the whole point. The whole point is that we're living together and not being together, you know? And that's what we agreed on. You don't want to go back on that now, do you?
No, Kathy, but,
And I want to develop a relationship.
And you don't think sleeping together would help?
No. If we started sleeping together, then what's the sense of courting? And I want to be courted.
And I want to court you. Am I doing it right?
Oh, you're doing it perfect. You just respect your territory.
Right.
And that's where you live, and this is where I live.
And don't I ever get to come over to your place?
Oh, sure. You know, when you're courting me, and you have to call me up and ask me out for a date first.
Okay.
Who's there?
It's Howie.
Howie who?
Howie about a date.
That's terrible. That's no way to start dating. I mean, you have to court. That's not the way. And anyway, besides, I'm too tired.
Yeah, but I'm not tired.
Well, I am, and I'm going to use the bathroom first.
Kathy.
Good night.
Good night, Kathy.
Well, here we are at last.
Where?
You know, Raymond, I really like you.
You do? That's funny. I thought you did. I'm usually wrong about this thing, but that's why I'm surprised that I'm right this time.
There's more, though.
What?
Well, Raymond, I'm going to be straight with you. I'm not ready for just one man. I have a lot of wild oats to sow yet.
You do?
I'm so sorry. But when I finally do decide to settle down, I'd want it to be with you.
Well, who says that I'm going to wait around? I like to play the field, too, you know. But I'd like to play with you.
But, Raymond...
I'll not take no for an answer. When I go out to get a woman, I get a woman.
I'm very impressed.
Oh, I'm very tired. This macho really takes it out of a fella.
Have a little drink, dear.
Oh, this is so beautiful. Except for the man looking in the window.
What?
A man looking in the window.
He's either a man or a very strange species of dog.
Take them off. Take them off. Or they're going to take their clothes off.
Don't move.
You know, this is so annoying. I mean, you'd think once, just once, that I could lie on my own kitchen floor on a pile of my own laundry and make love the way I want to without an interruption. Just once. Yeah. Tom, what are you doing?
Come in here. Come in here. All right, what the hell are you doing, huh? What do you think you're doing, huh? Look at me, Mary. Call the police. We got ourselves a peeping Tom. Come on, call the police. What?
Tom, that's Dr. Medwick. That's the Bible psychologist in Fernwood Receiving. Would you like some coffee, Doctor?
Mary, Mary, come here, come here. Now, look, this man has just invaded our privacy. Now, we've got to do something about this.
Tom, what are you talking about? This man is a doctor. He knows everything that there is to know about SC deaths.
No, I was glancing in your window for a reason. You see, I'm doing research.
Well, you see...
Yeah, it's very important in my line of work to observe certain behavior patterns in people.
You know, I think you may be a little sick, Dr. Medwick.
Tom, I am surprised at you, Tom. This man is a doctor. Now show a little respect.
Oh, I've got a terrible problem. I've been at Peeping Tom ever since I was a little boy. Ever since I watched my parents. That night my little sister was conceived.
Okay, it's okay. Everything's gonna be all right. Were your parents married or, Yes? Tom, Tom and I are very, very, interested, in this kind of thing. Sweetheart, cover him with a peach blanket. It's a warmer color for him.
I don't need interest. I need help.
Yeah.
You see, I've been going to a psychiatrist in Cleveland, but he isn't doing me any good at all.
Yeah, well, that's Cleveland. Have you tried a confessional?
Doctor, you mean to tell me that you've been peeping on people in Fernwood since you've been here?
Oh, yes. Yes, but this was the first time I got caught at it. Oh, I just couldn't stand sitting there and listening to life anymore. I had to get out. People are doing such exciting things. But there just wasn't anybody I could turn to. Oh, it's a disgusting vice. But I must say, I have seen some pretty incredible stuff.
Like what?
Mary, come on.
Tom, please, this is medicinal. Go ahead, Doctor.
Well, at the time Mrs. Andrews up on Highland had that affair with her teenage son's best friend. Oh, it was shocking. She didn't need mirrors there, believe you me. And there's that low and disgusting example of manhood by the name of Garth Gimble.
You mean to tell me you spied on Pat and Garth?
I peeped. I didn't spy. There's a difference. Spying is noble. Peeping is a sickness.
Did you see Garth hit Pat?
Oh, yes. On several occasions. Then there was a night that Garth went into the closet and tumbled back out with a Christmas tree in his back. It's very biblical. Judge, and thou shalt be judged. Revile, and thou shalt be reviled against.
Oh, Tom. Tom, he saw that whole night. You know what we have to do? We have to call up some friends. Now, Dr. Medwick, would you like to watch television? Would you?
Well, after a week of being more or less down to earth, we have gone into crazy town. And yesterday I shared a video that outlined some of the history of a certain racist group. And right after I shot yesterday, a video came up on my feed talking about where things are with white supremacist groups now. And I will share that here. But that's what we are talking about. The first scene is really just recapping where we were. We get to know some first names, and to be honest, I'm not going to take the time to remember them. but Vernon Bales is intent on rebranding. And I think that the rebranding that actually happened is somewhat more sophisticated than simply not saying certain epithets, the racial slurs. It's more than that. Now it's just an ounce more sophisticated in that there's a technique for plausible deniability that has been developed over the decades, which is to basically say, I'm kidding, or give room for the opposite point of view to be shared. But if you watch the video, you'll know what, you'll have an example of why people can get away with things now that they weren't able to in between the time of Mary Hartman, and up until very recently. And some of it is the internet and how the internet works, but it's still troubling. And, you know, this scene doesn't tread any new ground other than to show us the really horrifying key. Now, as the TTT has rebranded themselves as the GGG, I can't see how putting a burning statue in someone's lawn is any less terrifying if it's not a cross, if it's a key now. The GGG have keys, the TTT, if you look at the robe, there are keys on the robe, so that is clearly the case. I'm not sure exactly what it means that they are still burning things. So if they have changed their name, but they're still leaving these terrifying, flaming pieces of wood in people's lawns, I don't know that that really changes much. And as I was looking at that video, you know, things are a little more complex with how the white supremacist groups deal with people of color who might ally to their points of view or to their cause. However, it's clear still that they are targeting Tom and Mary as very typical, a very typical American family. A less typical scene would be with Merle and Mary having bar time. It seems like Merle is doing the slightly creepy thing, but he backs off on it a bit here. He's still trying to understand what's going on in his relationship with Wanda. And the scene moves forward to Howie and Kathy showing up, and Kathy isn't comfortable being there, and Howie has his agenda, which is to get to know the mayor. He's an investigative journalist and DJ. And it leads to a moment of making up between Mary and Kathy, though there's still some bickering involved. I feel like they bickered before they had their big fight occasionally. And the stress of the fight and Mary trying to defend Merle, I think, brings up the stomach pains that he'd been dealing with. Like he might have some kind of ulcer. They're not sure what to do with it. But then we cut to a brief scenelet, maybe a flashback, showing Lila pouring poison into one of the capsules. We have some don't know what's going to happen about to happen. And speaking of not knowing what's going to happen, Howie and Kathy, their relationship becomes muddier in the effort to clarify what's going on in their relationship. It's unclear to me. Kathy pulls the I'm going to divide our room in half situation. Howie's not sure, and that would be confusing to me too. Kathy wants to have a more chaste relationship, a non-sexual romantic relationship. She's still affectionate with him. She kisses him, affectionately at least. But it's a bit of a puzzler. And then we get to Grandpa Larkin and Barbie defining their relationship, and Barbie has wild oats to sow. Grandpa says, well, wait, why would I wait for you? I might not wait for you. But they both like each other, so that is defined. And, you know, Grandpa Larkin makes a comment about how being all macho is tiring, which I would presume is the case as a person who never cared for machismo. And then an odd scene. I think that the kitchen set is very useful for the producers of the show because it is used in times when it would not necessarily be appropriate. In this case, Tom and Mary having a sex session in the kitchen. You know, Heather lives there still. She could just walk in on them. That's a bit odd. It's not explained. I will presume that there's more space in that set, or maybe the bedroom set was being used for something else, and that's why we get this peeping Tom scene. Not Tom peeping. It's Dr. Medwick, who, if you don't remember Dr. Medwick, he was the religious sex therapist who got some pleasure out of Mary's life. And he apparently has been a peeping Tom, which to me was kind of a shock in general, but it leads to a solution for one of the storylines, which is Patty being a fugitive because she was accused of murder. We have a witness. Mary is doing what she can to comfort Dr. Medwick, but it's clear that she wants to get the police involved because she wants to clear Patty's name. I suppose a question will be, will Dr. Medwick be willing to give himself up, as he is a criminal, a peeping Tom, the voyeurism, without consent, right? That is a violation of people's privacy and against the law. Will Dr. Medwick give himself up in order to clear Patty? That's a question. I guess the only way to answer this question is to move forward in time. And by that, I mean, we will have to find out tomorrow and later. So everyone, we are having some chilling episodes this week. Thank you so much for watching with me. Thank you for leaving your thoughts, feelings, and impressions down in the comments. Thank you for being kind with each other. And we will see you tomorrow night in Fernwood.